Okay, so next section is this one here. So we're working in this outer sort of front finger here and the actual trench areas, these circle ones. So basically what we've got is these two just down in here. Place this one here. So that's these two. So this is C4 and C3. They are keyed. They only actually go together one way. Okay, so you literally just sandwich those together and come through, and you've got your key underneath. Now it's important to just remember what is the top and bottom. So you've got the bottom side down in here and the top. So then what you can actually start to do is bring in some of these in. So we've got 24, so that's this little guy over here. I've already cut these out. Okay, and then we've got D23, and that's just going to sit over here. And these literally go down. They don't go totally flush, so don't worry too much about it. Okay, number 2 in the game of what's that? That looks to me very much like the back end of a German Panzer, maybe Tiger, or a King Tiger, like that. But definitely something like that, nevertheless. Okay, so what we've actually got is this little guy. You've got your 2 holes, and with the curve of it, it's just going to fit down onto here, just like that. We got this little guy here, which I'm not sure what it is, but I'm pretty sure it's a drive sprocket off of something. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward as well. Again, key to only actually goes in one direction. It can be a little bit difficult if you're a bit sausage fingers like me to get these in, purely because they are keyed. Okay, so we're just going to pop that around in there like that, and then a bit of a nudge sits that in just like that in there. Okay, so then over to the other side, we've got this little guy just in here, and that is going to fit into this slot just here. Okay, so that's that one in there. So that's D15, D13. Okay, it's going to go into this little side wall just on the side here, and it pushes in, and just make sure it locks down and goes square so it's flush across the top. All right, so with that in, we can move over to this side now. So we've got this one here, which is D20. And D20 is just going to fit on the back area. Again, making sure these are just flush and they're pushed all the way home with that. Okay, and then down over on here, we've where are we? We've got this little guy here, which is I27. Now I27 is going to go in that top hole over on this one. Okay, so that's how that's actually going to fit. So it takes a little bit of wiggling to get in. Again, it is directional. It only goes in one way, and it can be a bit fiddly just to pop this guy home, which is just like that. So we just grab it and try and put him in a bit more accurately. So once it's in, it then just pushes home. And again, it doesn't go all the way down, but you do want it to go somewhat. Okay, so that is in there just like that. All right, so you've got this little check section at the top as well, so you can look at it just to make sure you've got all of these all in the right place and in the right positions and stuff like that. So these are these check areas. Okay, so with that one on, then we can just move a little further along. So we've got this one here, which is D25, which is going to fit down in this bottom corner. Again, making sure it's all flushed in, no problem at all. And we've got D11, this box, which has got the 2 little tabs down at the bottom, and that's just going to come along and then hopefully push down. Doesn't look like it's wanting to go totally in. There we go, that's that little guy in. Okay, and then over to the other side, we've got this one here, which is literally just going to come in the back. Okay, so this is D10. And again, it's not sitting 100%, so if it's not sitting, there's usually a reason for that. So again, resit it, and it's now in perfectly, no problem at all. We've got this little one here, which again looks like a wheel or something just down in here, and that is going to go right in at the top up here. Again, don't over push things home, because otherwise you're just going to bend it, and that sits in the top like that. Then it's a case of just flipping this over, just turn it over Okay, and then you got the side bit. So we got here, we got number 30, D34, and again that fits in just on the side there. Then we got D17, which is this tiniest little piece you've ever seen, and again is totally directional. So again, you might need tweezers, although I've managed to get that in, and that pushes home, so it's just down in there like that. Okay, so once you've got that one in, then we can move over to the other side. So we've got this little guy with the two little legs, that's going to come down onto this one down in here. Okay, so just making sure we have got it the right way, so it's feet towards the rear, and again can be a little bit, right, you have 1 foot, again you got 1 foot that's shorter than the other, only actually goes in one direction. So again, as always with all of these things, if it's not going, there's a good reason for it. Now this little part here, which is I-28, just be careful with it not to break off those two little holes at the top. Okay, it does say it in the instructions, but having done one of these already, because I've built the other side, to be honest, you don't want to break them off, because it will become clear shortly. Okay, so just making sure that's down and home, but I won't put your finger on it because you will bend those off. Okay, so that's that one in. Then we can just finish off on here. So we've got D41. So if I get him in. Sorry, but that's not D41, sorry, that's D41. Okay, and we've got down in here D36. That one is down in there like that. This little guy over here is D34. Okay, so that's all of those in. And then last up, we've got this little one down in here, which is a blade, and that's just going to go in between the slots, so it's going to go between D18 in the middle there. Okay, bit of a push down, and that completes that section. Okay, and then again with this one down in here, you've got the check, so just make sure you've got these correct on this side. Okay, making sure you've got them correct on the other side up there, and that will look at those. Okay, then basically what we've got is this top part. So what I do is I get the parts all cut out for it, and then we'll come together and we'll put them in. Okay, a little bit complicated with this one. Again, it's the layout thing. So when you're looking down on here, use the little check areas just to make sure you got the alignment, and also just take different notes from what parts you're actually using. Okay, now for me, I've trimmed them all off. To be honest, I've done the other side, I've done it here, and it's a mirror, so I've got a bit of an idea, but I wouldn't recommend taking the parts off and making a pile of them because they look quite similar, and you don't want to be putting the wrong ones in because they are a push fit, so once they go in, they don't like coming out very easily. Anyway, right, so this is our bottom section just down in here. So to start off with, there's a little bit just to do. So on D33, which is, I've got to remember which one this is, which is this one, which again, if we have a look, we're looking, what, transmission we're thinking off of something, maybe sort of 1/24th scale truck. Be interesting to know if anybody knows which truck that's actually off of, but definitely it's a transmission engine, something else down on there like that. Okay, so on here what we've got, and I've already popped them together, is these two here, which are actually this over here. Okay, so it shows the way it locks in and how it actually goes, which is quite a nice thing for us to be able to see it. But basically this little guy is going to come along, if I remember rightly, and get this all totally around the right way. Okay, so again, that way. Okay, got you. So what it is, it goes across. So from the two sides down of it like that, it comes across, and then it pushes in, and then it locks in, which gives us this little bit of detail on the outside. It's quite important you get that correct, because in a moment this is all going to come in here and it's all going to line up into this section here. So the thing is, it needs to go in first because it's going to balance on the bottom. Okay, so the way it is, you've got your little slots over all of this, and again, it's just making sure you pop them all in correctly. Okay, so that's in and pushed in. And again, little nudges just to make sure these edges are all in, things like that. That's it. Happy of how that one is in. Then we've got these ones. which again, just going to be a simple push fit. Once we are around the right way, which it must be this way we're thinking. That way, hold on. Which is in here. And then again, once we're in, just push it down. And it is the thing with Bandai, it just pushes and locks as we know, which is absolutely lovely. Okay, so that is round on there. Okay, we've got this front part, which actually I probably mean we can get this one in first. And then again, from round in here, two teeth, and it's probably easier to push it down from the top. Make sure it's pushed in, and then pushing down, just to make sure you're all locked in. Then we've got this little guy, and a pin, and a hole. So it only goes one way for the front. And then again, making sure you're in and pushed in. There's a little bit of a gap just here. Might be worth popping a little bit of glue, but you get the idea. Okay, and again, top of an engine block, we reckon. Yeah, got to be in there. Okay, so this little guy round in here, which is D30, and then again, you've got a situation where you've got a pin at the bottom, okay, and then a slot. Okay, so we're just making sure we are around okay for this one. So this is going to fit over this guy just in here, which again looks like a gun mantle to me for something. Okay, so that is in there like that, and it's all in. So then we can just come along with this guy, and again it's got a key, so the key only actually goes one way with this one, and it'll line up with all the holes and everything. So putting it down, pushing in, flip it over, just make sure you're all in okay underneath. If you are, then actually what you can do is you can put the top on, and again there's lots of various parts on here, so just take your time just to get them all lined up. Okay, so again we're just slightly under onto these and then across, and then it all just drops in. Few little gentle nudges just to make sure you're all in, everything's fine and happy, nothing's protruding out or not locked in. And again we've got something just here just causing a little bit of a drama. So again, it looks like it's just something here is not just quite sitting correctly. I'm not too sure what that is, or even if it is something, it just doesn't look like it's sitting in there quite right. We'll just cross-check that with the other side. Doesn't look too bad. Looks like this little area up here is supposed to be like that. So we're just making sure, because obviously we've got details going to go across the front here, so we're just making sure that's in. Okay, so with that bit in, what we can do is we can just add a few more ones to the top. So we've got here, which is D35. Okay, so that guy is just going to fit straight over there like that. We've got, what else? We've got D28, which is this one, I do believe, and that's just going to fit on here. Okay, again it's just a case of taking time with these. So you've got D5 is going to go over here, so this is D5. Again, give that a little bit of enough, and D40, so that's D40, and then we've got D5, which is this little guy. Again, we're just making sure he's in correct alignment. That's it, that's that pushed in just like that, so that's D5 down in there. Then we've got this little guy, which is number 8, D8. That comes across here. We've got this guy, which actually I think is very, very funny if you can see it on here. This is obviously a gun mantle from something, maybe a Sherman, something else like that. It's obviously got the coaxial gun, but you notice just in the actual barrel hole, it's got the locating tab still from the original. So it's quite incredible it's got that in there still. So anyway, this little guy, get this bit out, he is just going to come along and he fits very nicely in here, and you've got two little slots. So it might be a little bit easier just to line up those back slots first, and then a bit of a nudge and a click. Always a handy. There we go. So that's in. So there's that gun mantle system in there. You see that little notch. Lovely little touch with that one. Okay, so that's that one in, and then finally we've just got this little guy here, which is D39. Okay, and D39, I do believe, I'll make sure we got this round the right way. Just going to pop just on the side of here. And again, it's got little details, so we don't want to break them off, so we'll just come in with a pair of tweezers to pop that down and in. Okay, so that's both of those in there, just like that. So next up, what we've got is basically completed this section then. So we'll flip over and we'll get all the hosing out, because we've got lots of little hosing and various things down the side. So we'll get those all off the sprues. We can get them fitted onto it and really bringing it alive. Okay, so the final part, and this is a lot of the hosing work, and again I'll clean them all up just before we've been putting them in. So starting up here, we've got this one over here. We have this guy. Now some of these, again, you've got little small holes that actually these pipe work and things like that feed into. Okay, so just be mindful of that when you're sort of coming in and poking these things in. All right, so this little guy here to start with is just going to come in here. Okay, so again, we're looking to see exactly where this pipe goes. Some of them, they just sort of sit in here, other ones actually have an area where they actually feed to. Okay, so this particular one, there is a slot. So you see the slot down the back there, that's where this little guy is going to feed into. So it's just going to be a case of place on the top, and it's a nudge. It's not a push all the way in flush. It just does stand a little bit proud, but there we go. That's that one put in just there. Also, we've got this bar, which is a little bit of I-beam, which just literally fits up the top here. Okay, and again, just being careful of how you line it up. Sometimes they drop in instantly, other ones have a bit of a push around just to try and get them all in. Okay, there we go. That's those ones in just like that. All right, so that's those two in, and then moving along, we've got this very long one just down in here, and again, it's just a case of working out where all these go, and then just popping in, and again, like down in here, you might be able to see it. We've got that little hole just down in there. That's where this little guy is going to come in and want to sit into. So we just get that one in. And then again, it's just a case of lining up the holes. And if you want to, you can pop in with a little bit of glue just to pop those all in. And then again, some right up the top here. And again, good old nudge. Don't overforce anything at all. I think that's the key to this one. It should all fit in there. All right, so that's those ones in just like that. Then we've got D38. Which is what we got? D38. Just snip this one off. Okay, so we're just going to pop these off here. And again, it's good quality plastic on this. It's nice and easy to sand and everything else. And then this guy just going to come along. It just fits in there, literally on the front. Okay, so that's that top section done there. Now we're turning our attention to the side. So again, we're just going to work our way methodically right the way through this. So again, just lining these up. So this is this one going in, and then placing home and popping all the parts in. So we've got that one in just down in there. Then we've got, this is D16, that's going to go in this hole just along here. Nice big locating hole for that one. Okay, so that's that one in, and then we'll work our way down. So down in here we've got I-22, and that's just going to fit in here. And again, just making sure. And then we've got this little guy on this side. And again, that's rocking, and it's not just wanting to drop in there, so we just work out the actual reasons why. I can't actually see any, but again, just not wanting to force anything, because nothing should need to be forced. And there we go, that's in. And then this little guy is just going to push in the top here. So that's that one in. Again, looks like the back of a piece of armour. Okay, so that's that one in just like that. Okay, then we've got D2, which is this little slot guy here. Okay, and then again, he's just going to come in, but he's very, very small, so might be worth grabbing a pair of tweezers with him. Okay, so just making sure we have got the right hole. So again, just pop him at the top. And again, you could glue them in if you wanted to. I'm not too worried about it at the moment. I think they're absolutely fine as they go. Alright, so that's those along. Then we've got this guy here, which is going to be just back onto these ones. So you're sort of working your way forward and back with these. Okay, so this is, we've got those two, just working out where they all are. And then this one is, so that there, and then there's a slot. So okay, so this is goes in here. I think what we've done is, in my infinite wisdom, we've slightly misplaced this guy, so that's what that is. This one goes in here. This little guy up here, which is like a supercharger, goes in there. And then this guy, because we've got him slightly in the wrong place, which now makes sense, goes down in there. Again, the check guide along here is probably the easiest and the most straightforward way of seeing exactly how those all go in. Then we got these little ones here, which is W14, which is these. They're just a push fit. And then again, somewhat easier to get in than others. If you can even get hold of them. Okay. So that's those in just like that. Okay, we're just going to double check, make sure we're all okay with all of those. That seems to be all okay. So now we've got this little guy just down in here, which has got like a key to it. So it only goes one way, which means that makes lining up nice and easy for us. Okay, so that's that little one down in there, which is part number D1. Sorry, D4 is in that one down in there. Okay, and then we got this little guy is going to come across and into everything. So multiple things to line up with this one. So we'll get that back one in, and we got this one, this one, this one, and then we've got, let's see, these have got to go into everything. So we've got a hose just going down into there. Hoses down into that one. And then we do believe we've got this hose and this hose. Actually, I think they're on the outside, which they will. So we'll glue those once they're in with a touch of glue, just to make sure they're all happy. This little guy here. Okay, so that's nice. And then we've got D3, which again is directional. It's just going to fit in up there. That's not. Again, just little fiddly bits for big fingers, just trying to get them down into the groove, proving to be a little bit of a pain. Not the best one, we'll grab that in a moment. Okay. So, what have we got left? We've got over on this side, I do believe we have this little guy here. So this one is W11, just going to fit in at the front, and this one is D16. So again, that guy is just going to fall right in there with that one on. I'm just going to rescue a small part, which I do believe has gone in my keyboard of all places. It has. We will have a play with that, and I'll try and get that one out in a minute. Okay, but that's brilliant. But anyway, we won't miss it too much. We can easily get back to doing that one if required. Okay, so what else have we got? We got that one, and that one. They're all in place. Okay, so now we've actually got these ones running across the top over here. So first of all, we got this big twin one. Where are we with this one? That's this side. Okay, so again, popping it all down, and then it's going to be a case of hoses, which actually those have almost all gone into the right ones. That's nice. Okay, and then it's just going to be a case of working your way down and through all of these ones. So we've got this one down the back here. Okay. And then it's just going to be a case of pushing them over and then gluing them down into the actual locating ones where exactly they should be. We've got another one of these up here for the front area as well. Okay, so this little guy is just going to go up here, little I-beam, so it's top and bottom and mirroring each other. That makes sense. Okay, then we'll just work our way along all of these small ones. Okay, so and so that's that one, and that one. So next we want the long one, which runs right the way forward to back. Okay. Goes down in the hole. Okay, and now we've got this little guy. And again, it's just doing all the plumbing work and then popping them down so they actually go where they should do, down into the various areas. This one is the straight one. Oop. What we'll do is we are going to pop around and we're going to glue the hoses in with them all as where they're supposed to be. Okay, so you're just generally working your way around them all. Okay, and the last one goes over here. that one. And we've just got this little guy here, which is going to be this little guy. Just goes in the top bit and in there like that. And there we go, that completes our section. And to be honest, we've already done the other one as well, so we've got both of these sorted out and done now, which is going to speed things up. So there we go, that's one of the biggest, most complicated areas, just because of all the plumbing and wiring and that. With that done now, what we can actually do is work out with the main sort of fuselage of the ship.